Good day, SPS student. My name is Jacqueline Bock, and I would like to share with you some important information for your module, School-Based Studies. We refer to it as SPS. We are busy with our SPS currently, and I urge you to watch this video, to make notes while you are watching the video, and also, if possible, please have your study guide close to you, and you can go page by page with me to follow, and also to make some notes on an extra piece of paper. I would like to welcome you to the class, and I would also like to invite you that should you have questions after this presentation, that you familiarize yourself with who your tutor is, and that you can contact your tutor via email or via SMS or via WhatsApp, should you have extra questions, or if there's still things that you are not familiar with or uncertain about. So the purpose for our engagement today is that I would like to equip you with the very important information that you need, that you are able to complete your time, the duration at the school successfully. You may remember that while you are there at school, there are certain things that we expect from you as a student. First of all, you need to keep in mind that once you're done at your school with your school-based studies, you will have to submit some documents to us. You will have to submit the assignment, and which the assignment is an online assignment. You download it from your portal, and then you upload it again as your assignment after you have worked on it, completed it. And then obviously there is a hard copy book, which is your study guide that you need to work through. You will have to plan your lessons, and you will have to present the lessons. So you will see that your study guide consists out of several sections. Main sections is where you will have the place where you will have to prepare your lessons where you write them out, and then once you have prepared and you are prepared, then you will present these lessons to your learners at the school, and then one of the teachers assigned to you as a support teacher obviously will have to sit in and evaluate you, and then assign marks to you, so grade you for the work, for the lesson that you have presented. Once that is done, then you will have to record, especially those lessons that have been evaluated separately, but you will also have to record the lessons that have not been evaluated separately. We will get to that place later in the presentation. So I would like to share with you some, important tutor information, and it's also important to you to know which tutor has been assigned to you. So on the screen, you will see we are 5 SPS tutors, and each one, there is a phone number, a cell phone number, as well as an email address. You are welcome to make use of. We would advocate that you rather send an email, so that we always have a reference framework and a track record of your communication with your tutors, so that if one tutor cannot assist you, that you can reach out to somebody else who is capable of assisting you. So we have Miss Mulder Pesser, we have Miss Jalen Kluter, and then we have Miss Annelie Morkel, and then I am Jacqueline Bock, and then we have Mr. Reino Brand with the respective contact details. So as I said, the final note there on the screen is that you may make contact with your tutor via email, you can SMS your tutor, or you can send a WhatsApp, you can have a text message, or you can even have a voice message sent via WhatsApp to your tutor for the necessary assistance. I would like to talk about some do's and don'ts, and you should take this very seriously. We are not located at the OER offices, so we don't have administrative information. What we can help you with academic support. If you have technical issues, or if you have any other administrative related issue, then you will have to send the email to the SMS support group. So you cannot ask us, something like whether the SPS study guide was received, whether it was marked. We just receive after you have submitted it. We have our deadlines. We stick to our deadlines, and then we submit it to them, and then they then attend to all the administrative issues. You can also not ask us when to tell you when you will receive your marks, because that information we don't have. However, you may ask for guidance about the completion of the assignment or the study guide. So those we regard as academic support. Then it's good if you can just have your study guide with you. Information, very important information of your study guide. It's not an SPS guide. So there are three main sections, of which I have already alluded to. You have your assignment section, that is in the online part. It's uploaded online. You will have to download it, complete it, and then you will have to submit it online. You have your lesson preparations, which is one part of the study guide, and then you have your lesson presentations, which is also a part of the study guide. But there is a third part of your study guide which is not shown here, and that is the administrative part, where you will have to report what you have done throughout, the lesson plans and the presentations that you have done. That need also to be recorded in your study guide, but we have a special location at the end of your study guide to do that. We will get to it. When we talk about your assignment for this semester, you will have to consult your study guide, and you will have all the answers, or almost all the answers can be found in your study guide. So you will have to answer all the questions, and the mark allocation is 100. And a word of advice from me is that you should start immediately with your assignments. Waiting until the very last moment, then you will put yourself in trouble. You will not be able to finish on time, and then you will miss the submission. Then it means that you will fail, because there are three components for your marks. It's the assignment component, it is the lesson preparation component, and it's the lesson presentation component. So if you submit your assignment late, then you will fail, because that mark will not be available. So we talk about the information letter to read before you start your SMS. Now, each of you receive the information letter. I urge you to take out that information letter. If you haven't read it, please read through it. There are concerns that have been reported to us about students attendance of the SPS during when they at the time that they are at the schools. So there are plenty of issues that have been reported to us. Now let's look at some of the issues. Before I talk about what is visible on the screen, is that a word of caution is that an SPS school engagement, it is where IUL provides an opportunity to you to help you to gain the necessary knowledge, to become a good teacher, to observe what the teachers at the school, what they are doing, also to learn from them, and then you get an opportunity to present lessons, so you build experience. So if we found that you are not at the school, that you cheat, that you go to the school only for the time that you present the lesson, then you're gonna end up in big trouble because you need to be there for the duration of the period from the starting day until the ending day of your SPS. If you were requested to go to the school for 1 month, 4 weeks, you need to be there for 4 weeks. If we found that you are not there for 4 weeks, then your face will be cancelled and anything that you will be submitting will be nullified. So be present at the school for the entire school day and stay at the school for the required period linked uh, to your specific qualification. We will look at that later. Not staying the required period at the school will have severe consequences for you because IOL will visit you without prior notification and then you will be in trouble. So if you are not at school when IOL comes for a visit, then you will have to repeat the phase. Also, not filing leave at your workplace and only attending school for 1 or 2 hours daily will have severe consequences and you risk repeating the phase. And a separate attendance register of your attendance will be requested from the school to verify the accuracy of the attendance register in the SPS book. So be honest, be on time, punctual, report to the school. If the school starts 10 to 7, be there already 5 minutes or 10 minutes before school starts. So we say there, let's look at the completion of your SPS book. So we urge you and encourage you strongly to complete all sections of the book to the best of your ability. We would like you to take pride in your work and please use a handwriting which is legible so that we can decipher and read well what you have written there. Otherwise, we won't be able, to give you the marks that you supposed to be given to be awarded if your handwriting cannot, it's not legible. And we also urge you to use either blue ink or black ink when you complete your SPS assignment. The book, all the preparations there and all the pages to be filled out. So you will see we are talking about there on the screen. We are talking about how to complete the SPS study guide, how to complete it. Let's quickly look at it to complete the guide. So we see here that I want you to open your book on the page, the very first page which you see there. That page consists of four parts. So let's look at part A. You will complete. You will not complete it. You will keep it open. So it is the part where the tutor who has graded your work. Your tutor will complete that part. You will see there is a pass. You will in the table there is pass and there is redo. Now, if you have passed, then your marks will be recorded under the pass column. But if you did not pass, then the unsatisfactory mark or the fail mark will be recorded under the redo column. Then the signature there is not for you, and the date is for the person who has graded your book. And then your part is B. Your part is B, C, and D is for you as well as your teacher who will be assigned to you. So you will have to add your details in B. You will have to complete C. We have found that many of the students, they just ignore C, and it's part of the work that you need to complete. And then you see support teacher, you need to put the name of your support teacher, there so that we can phone your support teacher and the teacher can also sign. And then we would want you as a student also to add your signature. So the next page gives us an example of what is expected from you, which is now a completed version. So you will see there, the assignment is online, so the mark, it will be open, the mark will not appear there. Then you will see there for preparations, the student acquired a mark of 93%, and the student got a mark of 81 for presentations. Then you see there is where the lecturer or this person who is your tutor is signed, and then also to add the date there. And those parts are the parts that you will have to complete. Here we have given you a indication, and that you see that the lecturer, the tutor really took cognizance of what you have done. Marks have been awarded to what you have done. Then when we have the attendance, we have the attendance register. We will give you an example also on the next page as to how we want you to complete it. You will complete the section daily, and the support teacher or the teacher who assesses your work will sign. Let's look at an example that is complete here. So we see we have the date on the first column. Then on the second column, if you were sick, then you will say the day, you will indicate the day there that you were sick, and even the student there wrote that there was a medical certificate, and the medical certificate must be submitted as well. This is an example for illustration purposes only. You will have to add your student surname on top there, just underneath the content or the note to the student, and then you will have to add your initials there, and your student number, and then also the school that you have attended, and also the weeks, the number of the weeks that you stayed at the school. We urge you to send this medical certificate to the school. Say, for example, you got sick and you have visited the doctor, and the doctor has given you a medical certificate to say that you are unfit for school for a day, then or for 2 days, then you will have to send this medical certificate to the school immediately. So if IOL visits the school, so that at least there is evidence of your absence. Otherwise, your face will be cancelled. So we see here that we have the individual feedback. Now, there is a part where in your book, which is page 3, where the tutor will come back. After the tutor is marked your work, the tutor will come, and then the tutor will complete this part. You do not complete this part. Then there is a section for additional comments. This will also be completed by the IOL SPS tutor who has graded your work. You just keep this, leave this page for open because this is not for you. I'm going to show you a one that has been already completed by the SPS tutor. So we see here for additional comments only, well done, and then the signature of the tutor, and then also the date. Now, if they, for example, you were unsuccessful in your SPS, then we will also come and add the additional comments here is to inform you what we were not happy with, where you should improve. So this is just an example as to, what we will be doing with, in this part of additional comments. So you will have to leave it open as well. Next, we will see on page 6 and 7, there is a letter. This letter is in your study guide on page 6 and 7. Now, I urge you to take time and to read this letter line by line. I don't have the time for this presentation because we need to finish it within 1 hour. And we cannot now sit and read this letter. This is your homework. You must read the letter. So I urge you, please sit down, read the letter, make sure that you understand what is expected from you. The next page, which is actually page 8 also, is also only a continuation of the letter that is in your study guide. And please do take time and to complete and to read it. So let's look at the duration of your SPS visit at the school. So if you look at the early childhood certificate, we see there that there is year 1 and there is a year 2, and then 3 weeks, and 3 weeks, 20 different subjects, and the number of lessons to be evaluated 10, and the number of lessons to be recorded 10. So you will have 20 lessons that you have written out, of which you will have 10 of those 20. You can present it also. 10 lessons, the 20 lessons can be presented, but the number that need to be evaluated is 10. This is where the teacher sits in and gives you a grade for what you have done, and then that 10 will be recorded under the section of evaluated lessons, and the other 10 that they have not been evaluated, those, but you have presented them, those are just being, I think it's the last activity in your book where you will have to record those lessons. Then you look at those of you who are doing the early childhood diploma, familiarize yourself with what we would want, how many weeks you must stay at the school. And then we have the junior primary qualifications. We have the diploma pre-primary education. For them, it's 4 weeks. With year 1, we have phase 1, we have phase 2, 3, and 4. And I would like you to look closely there at the number of lessons to be evaluated, the number of lessons to be recorded, and the number of lessons that you need to prepare. Then we go to the junior primary qualification. Then you familiarize yourself. If you are in that phase of the number of weeks, you see here you need to stay there 4 weeks. You need to complete, to prepare 20 lessons, of which the number of lessons you must also present the lessons, but only 10 of those lessons will be evaluated, and the other 10 will be just recorded because you have not received actual marks for those ones. Look at the senior primary qualifications. This is now the bachelor senior primary education, and for you, 4 weeks, we have 20 lessons, 10 per major, and then we have how to 6 to be recorded, and then the others 14 you can present it, but 7 per major, but you just record it. It's not being evaluated. So we have the advanced certificate senior primary education the same day, and then we have the senior education qualification, the other one, which is the advanced certificate, the AC. So we have the ACPE and we have the ACSE. We also have there the diploma senior, diploma secondary, which is postgraduate, is a diploma in education. We see there it's 4 weeks and we have 20 lessons. We have 8 to be evaluated, and then the 12, although you have presented them, you just record them, at that part in the book where it is required from you to of you to record it there. Then we have the diploma education secondary, and it's 4 weeks there. We have 20 lessons to prepare, and then you have 8 evaluations, and then you have 12 lessons that are which were just presented, but we just recorded. Then we move to the diploma of education, secondary education, DSE. There we have phase 1 with 3 weeks at the school, which I say for this particular secondary phase, you need to go to a school which has a secondary phase. Then we see there you have a number of lessons, which is 14, and then the number of lessons to be evaluated. Indeed, it is 6. And then the number of lessons that are recorded, those are 8. Then we move to the next slide where we see that you will have to read page 11 in your SPS study guide. And we see that on page 11, we talk about the aims of SPS studies. You need to read it. You need to know what the aim is. You need to know about the rules, the roles of the school-based, the stakeholders. You need to know the roles of the teachers. You need to know the roles of the learners in the school, receptionists. You need to know about how you will conduct yourself. You will have to conduct yourself professionally at all times. So we're going to talk about your behavior at the school. So when you are at the school, you are a guest, but you are also a professional scholar. So your attitude and behavior should therefore reflect accordingly, and you will have to adhere to some guidelines. First thing to keep in mind is to arrive at the school on time and do not leave the school grounds before the end of the school day. So if for any reasons outside your control, you arrive late and or you cannot show up at all, then you will have to inform the school office as soon as possible. You need to be cautious to administrative and teaching staff as well as learners. We go continue with your behavior in school, at the school, and we urge you to obtain a copy of the school and the classroom rules and study them so that you can adhere to them at all times. And you need to behave according to what is expected from you. Dress in a professional manner, acceptable to the school, and be well groomed. Be punctual and be well prepared for your lessons and other tasks. Assist with academic, administrative, or extracurricular tasks. No personal and confidential information of staff and learners should be made public by you. And do not criticize staff or learners. Ask how and why questions relating to the profession and the school, and show enthusiasm to learn the ropes. Let's look at the next slide, which we see that you need to keep your school-based study guide and the classroom teaching and management study guide at hand daily. You will have to have that study guide of yours every day. In most cases, the staff room may be too small, it's possible, or there may be a lack of facilities. It is also possible to accommodate, all the people. So you might have to stay or even stay out of the staff room if there's not enough place for you. So you will have to see and make the analysis of what is available. And if you want to drink coffee, tea during break, you must make a donation towards these refreshments right from the start. In some schools, staff has to bring their own cups. So you will have to make sure, don't go there and expect that a cup will be available for you. Bring the cup from your home, and if possible, bring your own, refreshments and coffee that you would want to enjoy at school. Thank the principal and staff on the last day at school during the break for their support, and if you can afford it, provide something for them to snack on. That is optional. So we go now to page 12, and I want you to read page 12 in your SPS guide. This is now page 5.1 and page 5.2. It talks about your responsibility with regard to the school-based experience, your responsibility before the school-based experience, and your responsibility during the school-based experience. I want you to read it. And then if you look at 5.3, it's your responsibility after the school-based experience. So our focus is now what to be done after. Now you have completed the lessons, you have presented the lessons, you have completed your SPA study guide, all sections. We will go to separate sections shortly. Then you attach your school-based studies report, which is completed by the principal to the school-based, the study guide. And then the study guide, it must be in the study guide, and it's good if it's in an envelope, and then you need to submit that, to IOER. We see that must be done on a time that IOER will communicate with you. So this is now within a week, but it may be within less than a week. You need to find out. They will give you the time. Stick to the deadlines. Otherwise, your work may not be graded. All forms of academic dishonesty, such as cheating and plagiarism, are prohibited. Then you send an SMS to the subject teachers and the appointed school-based mentor to thank them again for their support and input into your professional development after you have completed the duration at the school. We continue and we see that evaluation of your school-based performances. We see that the school-based experience comprises out of the sections we have already spoken about, and the assignments and lesson preparations and the lesson presentations. Now you have your evaluation forms. We will get to that. Record of teacher evaluated lessons. Now this is at the very last pages in your study guide. So you can go to those evaluation forms, but then you have, which you will have to come to complete yourself. As a record of the teacher evaluated lessons. Then you have the record of the lesson presentations, and that's also to be completed. Then these three sections are assessed. We have this evaluation forms, is the lesson evaluation forms, where you present the lesson, and then the teacher who sits in, normally your support teacher, will evaluate your work and then assign a mark to what you have done. Then with that mark, you will record, you will write up the TC evaluated section, those lessons section. Then there are lessons that you might have written out, you may also have presented, but they were not evaluated. Now those lessons you record in the lesson presentation part. So these three sections are assessed and must be passed independently on a 60% before. So you must have 60% for your study guide. Study guide are two sections. It's your preparations and it's your presentations, and then you have you also have your assignment. If you fail one section, you will be allowed a second opportunity to replace the failed mark of that section, but you will just get a 60%. You will not get a 1% more than 60%. So school-based observation number 7, tasks. For the school-based studies phase, you must complete the following 2 teacher observation forms. Although you will observe many lessons of the teacher. Now, this is a task which is 7.1 and 7.2. I urge you to turn to those pages, and you must ask permission for the teacher so that you can observe the teacher, and then you observe the two teachers so that you to learn how they create an effective learning environment. You will then complete those 2 tasks, 7.1 and 7.2. So you will see there 7.1, part A, you will ask permission to observe the teacher, and then the teacher will complete the A part. Your responsibility is to attend to the B part, as well as the C part. In the B part, that is based on what you have observed while you were, the observations while you were listening, listening to the lesson that the teacher is presenting. And then the C part is there where you need to provide that. That's the C part, provide an answer to number 4 as well. So you will have to complete everything there. So this is 7.2. It's the same. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You will have, there's an A part, the teacher completes. It's another teacher. You have the B part and you have the C part. Then we see here, this is just an example of what the student has done here. You see it's observations that were written down there. So you write what you observe. You see here that the work has been graded. And then number 8 is school-based lesson preparations. Here we say that you will have to prepare the number of lessons expected for your course. Go back to see on pages 7, 8. According, you see there, according to the format there, I think that it's you need to stick to the format. The lesson preparations should cover the different themes and the subjects. So you know that especially in the primary lessons, school lessons, upper primary and junior primary, there are themes that are being covered specifically. Stick to those things, use your syllabus, and all the prepared lessons should be presented, and a certain number of presentations, C numbers of page 7 and 8, should be evaluated by senior teacher or the teacher that has been allocated to you as a support teacher. So guidance on lesson preparation, the lesson preparations, there are guidance provided is now, but the lesson preparation start on 21, it goes up to 70. So there are instructions that are given there, and you need to use the IUL preparation forms in the guide, not those of the schools, because those of the schools, they don't look the same like that of the ones in the SPS study guide. You will have to write the lesson that you are going to present at least one day before the presentation day, and then hand in neat work, and then read this handout and examples in the study guide. So instructions are also in the study guide. We urge you to read it. It's very important when, especially for your first phase in the of SPS. You need to know what you must do and what you should not do. So guidance on lesson preparation is written lessons should be available every day when presenting lessons. So you must have that a prepared lesson in the study guide. You go with it to school, and your written, if your written lessons, if any of your if or a written lesson is unavailable when IUL visits you, then a 0 will be recorded, and you must repeat the SPS. So the date, the topic, the score from your evaluator must be provided there. The teacher must add the signature. This is very important because having the signature there is for us to prove that the evaluations were done. Then please note that the due date of the SPS submission of the SPS has changed to the Monday after when you complete, but they can communicate a specific date with you. So please be connected with the SPS coordinator. Make sure that you receive the communication, and make sure that you adhere to the due date. That can be done. That guidelines can be found on page 13. Then we continue with the guidance on the lesson preparation, while other answers are based on observations, school documents, or consultations with the staff of learners is also possible. Your teaching experience will come handy with the practical questions. If there are practical questions in the assignment or in the lesson, so no half mark will be allocated and no marks are deducted for spelling. But if an answer is not formulated academically correctly, then the student does not get a mark. And then 4 or 5, not 5 of your preparations will be evaluated, scored by the SPS tutor, and each lesson is not 25, but it's 20. So it's 20 times 5, which gives us a mark of 100. And so we see there is a 2% penalty is applied to each incomplete or incorrect category. So you will lose marks. So if we have 10 categories and a 2%, so it's 20 marks to be deducted. Your lesson preparations, for examples for Form 1. So we see there is just an example. You can sit with your book and you read through everything in your study guide. We get now to the A part, which is the pre-presentation component, where you need to download the syllabus or to have asked the syllabus. You cannot operate without the syllabus. What is a situation analysis? It tells you what is the knowledge of the student in terms of the topic that you presented that moment you are, presenting the lesson. And you can look here at the sample lessons that we have provided to you. Make sure you know what the situation analysis is. At A3, we have the basic competencies. The basic competencies are found in the syllabus. You cannot prepare a lesson or present a lesson without having, a thorough understanding and having consulted your syllabus. So you will have to work from your syllabus. So at the end of the lesson, learners should be able to do the following. Physically, what they will be able to do. A verb will be there, which is measurable. Then the learning, the broader learning outcome or the objective, it starts normally with will. The other one, the basic competency, starts with, includes the word should. The other one, will. This one is much broader. This one is very specific. Then we have the resources. If you want to use resources, please do so. These are now pictures of numbers for the specific lesson, what you will, as a student and yourself, so that the content is conveyed effectively with visual aids, posters, or cartoon numbers, or whatever is possible that you can make use of. We have the presentation component, which is phase 3. Now we need to have the motivation or the focus phase. That is where you get the attention of the students. You will have to get the attention of the students. Yeah, critical learners friendly, and this doesn't count. This is obvious. You need to do this. But from 2, we would want to look there and see what kind of, how did you catch the attention, or how did you gain the attention of the students? And then B2 is information processing phase. Yeah, it is what you do, all the steps that you do, all the phases of your lesson. What have you done from your side to deliver this lesson successfully? Then we urge you to write at least 10 steps there. What have you done for the successful delivery of this lesson? Then we go to B3, which is the assessment and the reinforcement part. We also urge you that you need to look at how for this example, what was done here. What does the teacher do? The teacher asks, questions to see whether she or he has, obtained the learning objectives for the particular lesson. The teacher points, for example, here to the number chart, the picture, and the learner must identify. So the teacher tests the understanding of the students based on the lesson that was presented. The teacher provides learning support to learners who get the answers wrong. So it's not a given that everybody will understand. So this is now your opportunity to see whether the students understand, if the learners understand. If they don't understand, you need to do something to make them understand. So you request learners to look out for the numbers on TV and in books and getting information on objects during the lesson, and then you store it. So this is just now tips that we can provide you with. So we have the senior primary and the secondary. This is now the ICPE, the ICSE, the BA, the base, the DE, the DES, or the GS and GSE. This is now what they form. Look, what the appearance of the form, what it looks like. So here we see these are a little bit different, but they also have, the top part of the personal detail of the student. You need to complete it. This year you will have to, your teacher who is supporting you will shade where in which area that lesson was about. There is a lesson topic. You look at the phases here, situation analysis, the basic competencies, the learning objectives, with the resources as well. And here is now, an example of what the student has done. This is only for illustration purposes. Please look at it, this is the student really invested great efforts into having, a very, very good or a well completed book. We move there to the next slide where we see this part is the lesson preparation and presentation. So what is the lesson preparation? So we see that the lesson preparation form of the school differs from that of what IOL presents or advocate for or suggests or wishes you to use, which is in the study guide. It's mandatory you must make use of IOL's lesson preparation form. Now, how will you plan your lesson? Each component of the IOL lesson preparation form is explained to you on the following pages. You will have to study those pages 17 to 24. And then there are several examples of lessons also in your study guide. So we move on and we see they take note of the following of the evaluation forms, which is called as it's SNE. The evaluation. So we see that the penalty there is the 2% that is being, every 2% is 20% at the end of the day. So adhere to all the instructions, complete all the sections. For each of the sections not completed, marks will be deducted from your overall mark. There is a lesson 25. You should have it ready, because that lesson 25, you will have to present this lesson when IOL SPS coordinator comes to visit your school. So be prepared for this lesson. Then we have the lesson preparation examples. We have it on pages for the early childhood primary and junior primary education. So it's the CECE, the CE, the DECE, the DPPE, and the DJPE. Visit page 16 and 17, an example of the lessons available on pages 17 and 80 for the AC, PE, the AC, SE, the BAE, SP base, or the DE, the DES, and the DSE. So we urge you to visit these pages, these templates, and see, familiarize yourself with the examples provided. Then we get to the evaluation, the forms in the study guide. So there are two evaluations. The presentation in the classroom, your assessment will evaluate you while you present the lesson. The lessons that you have prepared at home and written out at home. Then she will complete this evaluation form. Those forms appear on page 73 to 105. Then an example of the lesson evaluation form, which is form 3, that needs to be transferred, or you will have to transfer the final score accompanied by your signature and your tutor's signature on page 107. I urge you to turn page 107 and complete it. It's to transfer the information of your grades, the topic of the lesson, the number of your lesson to that part of the evaluations. Ensure that all evaluations are signed by you and the assessor. So you will see your assessor, the student, and the type. So please adhere to it. Recording of the teacher assessed lesson scores. So you need to record it correctly. If you in your study guide recall, you must record all the teacher assessed lesson scores. And this is on page 107. Record the teacher assessed lesson scores, and the assessor does not evaluate the written lessons, but just signs at the end, and then shade a possible grade there, but not to mark it correct, but it can be given guidance as to where you need to improve. That can be done verbally. So written lessons, these will be marked by the IOL tutor only, and you will receive a mark for the presentation after the submission to the IOL. So we see how to complete the evaluation forms. These are now pages 74 to 100. And to all the components, the criteria have to be completed or evaluated. A suggestion here is ask the teacher to add the actual value. For example, a 4, a 3, 1, a 2. Make sure that the guide is completed. Everything must be completed in the study guide, and then on pages 67 to 105, there is an explanation and an example of how to do this. So here we see what the teacher has done. You see, 5, 4. It can even be written out. 5, 4. That part. So this is just for illustration purposes. And then the mathematics needs to be completed there. See how the student has done it, and see that is, I can see it's not the student. This is the student's handwriting. This is the comments provided by the students. So not by the students, by the person who has assessed your work. So here, motivation for the final grade. Why have the student gotten this grade? There is the motivation. Why these grades? Each comment, each section is a comment has been offered as an evidence as to why particular marks have been awarded to the student. So here we have just given examples to you, and here at the end, here we see the signatures that we have spoken about. Now I would like to come back here to the slide here. So this is now your reflections. You need to write at the end of each lesson that you have presented a reflection. It is mandatory. If you don't do it, you will lose marks. You will reflect on your experience after each lesson. It's not the person who assessed, but it's you who will write the experiences. What went well, what did not go so well, and then forms to complete before you submit the study guide. On page 106, you can turn to it. We have the reflection on the weak and the strong points of presented lessons. This is a separate page of a separate a task that needs to be done. Yeah, we have it. We have that one. So here on page 106, we have the weak and the strong points. We go back to the previous, then this is the first page that the tutor opens when he or she starts marking. So please write enough, at least 3 strong points and 3 weak points need to be displayed there. And then we go to page 107. It's here on the right-hand side. That one is where the record of teacher-assessed lessons must be completed. Here you see how diligently the student has completed this part. And this was a mark at 81 at school that was actually awarded to the student. Then we see here, record the teacher evaluation form, which is 4. This is this form on page 110. No. Teacher assess form is the one on page 107. Then ensure it is fully completed and the teacher signature appears there. And this is the proof that your work has been assessed. Then we go to page 108. Let's look at page 108. I think that is the lessons that were presented but were not planned, presented but that were not evaluated. They are just being recorded. Record of the lesson was excluding the so you don't focus on the ones that have already been recorded on the previous page, only the other ones. This is form 5 and it should be fully completed and it should be signed. And these are the lessons that were not evaluated. You may have presented it, but they were not evaluated. So we talk about the principal's report, which is page 109. There's an illustration in your book of this. You need to know, what's being, what you are being assessed on. The principal has to complete it, and a copy will be sent to IOL alongside with your SPS letter. And you have to attach the closed envelope to your study guide before you submit your documents. This letter is proof that you were at the school. Then what about the redos? If you have not scored 60%, you will be asked to redo it. When you submitted the redo, then you will only receive 60%. When you fail the redo, you will have to pay for another opportunity to do a redo, to re-register. Then it is really expected from you to get the redos is the format of the lessons preparation forms will be uploaded, will be available on your portal. Download it and please attend to it diligently, as there is a possibility that you can fail if you do not do your work well. Then redo assignments. This is now where the ones that you have submitted electronically. You will have to answer all the questions again, and then it will be expected to redo. This is now for the lessons, to redo 6 lessons, but for the assignment, you will have to redo the whole assignment. And then, of course, 60% is going to be the mark that you will be received. Final date for SPS and the redos that will be communicated to you. The dates will be indicated in the letter that you received in the beginning before you started with your SPS, and the date is usually a week, but it will be made very clear to you when this is, needs to be sent or submitted to IOL. So the planning forms are on page 22 to 70. The 5 lessons that you should do, you must get 60%, and you have to go to, you use your syllabus, and and then the presentation component, which is the A1, which is the syllabus topic, you start actually there, and then you go back to the situation analysis. We've spoken about the evaluation analysis. Then you go to the basic competencies. What should this learner be able to do at the end of the lesson? You have the broader outcome. This is now broad. It's in the study guide. It's normally the learner will. There it is will. It starts with will and not should be. And then we have the resources there, which is A5. It is you use the resources that really speak and they can support your topic for better understanding, for delivery of effective, efficient, and effective lesson. And then we have the B part there, which is the presentation component, P1. You have the introduction, the motivation. And during your SPS period at the school, you will see and experience the disorder before a lesson start. It's going to be chaos because students are coming it's just after break, and yeah, you will have to calm down the students, you will have to get their attention, and then you can use resources there also to gain their attention, posters, whatever is available, and then you go to your, it's just a recap to your information processing phase, and you can go through this. After you have the attention of the student, then you may start with the lesson. You need to also announce, the lesson objective, what you would want to achieve, what you would want them to achieve with the lesson that is being found, in the A part here, the previous part, where or everything, the lesson topic must slot in to the objectives and the content. So there must be constructive alignment, and the steps are to be numbered, and you must describe it step by step, and you focus on the teacher's activities, no lesson information. I don't want content there, also learners activities. I want what you as the teacher do. Every step should start with a capital letter and end in the full stop, and then one per line, and but write as much as possible. And we hope that you understand now why you should not wait until the end of the SPS time that you spend at the school to start with the lessons. It should be a daily thing, and teachers show a picture of a person, think before you ink, and then you plan your steps before you write. Please, this is very important. Then we have the assessment and the reinforcement phase, and then we see now you plan something to find out whether the learners, understood the lesson. We've already spoken about it earlier. And this is the final part of this, of your lesson. During the session, you can summarize the main points. You can ask questions to see. And if there are still students who don't understand, then you will have to consider that you will have to go back to the points that they don't understand and reinforce. And, you will have from your side make an effort that your students really do understand the lesson. Take note of the following aspects when doing the assignment, which is code T. You must answer all the questions, and it's electronically, so you must type out everything. Sentences straight to the point. Mind your grammar, punctuation, spelling, vocabulary, and then consult teachers if need be. If you require school documents, ask it from the teachers. If not, especially the syllabus, you cannot do SPS without the syllabus. Download it from NIAT's website. Follow the thinking required by the verbs of the assignment. If you're talking about the assignment, there is a verb that say explain, list, please adhere to that. And facts to be answered, questions should be numbered, and then facts given and marks allocated per question should be correlated. And then a final remark from my side is that IUL aims to teach you the correct way to prepare lessons. So you need to adhere to the lesson planning format provided in the SPS module. So with that said, I would like to thank you for listening to me while I was presenting to you what is important. And I would like to wish you all the best with your stay at the school. Please behave yourself well. Please don't run away from the school during the day, because if IUL visits you and you are not there, you will get a 0. Also, bring along your own coffee, your sugar, your refreshments, or give a donation towards the person who is responsible, for keeping that fun. Don't make a nuisance of yourself. Follow the rules and be punctual. Thank you so much, and may you enjoy the stay at your school. And all the best with the completion of your SPS study guide as well as the submission of your assignment online. Goodbye.